Brothers and sisters, Dan 2 is a warning we cannot afford to ignore. Dan tells his children to guard themselves against the spirit of lying and anger, and instead to love truth and long suffering. Why? Because anger does more than make you upset. Unchecked anger can change the way you see. Dan 2:2 says, "There is blindness in anger, and there is no angry person who can perceive the face of truth." That is deep. When anger takes control, you can be looking directly at truth and still reject it because truth is coming through someone you are angry with. Dan says anger can make you treat father or mother like an enemy. It can make you stop recognizing your brother. It can cause you to disobey a Nabi of Yahweh. It can make you disregard a righteous person and ignore a friend. Do you see the danger? Anger does not just affect your emotions. It can affect your discernment. And Scripture gives us the same warning. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of Allah. James 1:20. You can be angry and convince yourself that you're discerning. You can be offended and call it wisdom. You can be bitter and call it boundaries. You can hate correction simply because you don't like the person bringing it. But truth does not become a lie because it came from someone you are angry with. Dan 2:4 says, "The spirit of anger ensnares him in the nets of deceit, blinds his eyes, darkens his understanding through a lie, and gives him its own peculiar perspective." In other words, anger can hand you a distorted lens and then convince you that what you're seeing through that lens is reality. That is why we must examine ourselves. Am I seeing this situation clearly or through anger? Am I rejecting what was said because it is false or because I am offended? Am I calling someone my enemy because they are actually against me or because they told me something my flesh didn't want to hear? And Dan 2:5 takes us even deeper. Hatred in the heart opens the door to envy against your brother. Brothers and sisters, don't nurse anger until it becomes hatred. Don't nurse hatred until it becomes envy. Don't allow offense to become the lens through which you judge everybody around you. Yahuwah's word tells us, "He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly." Proverbs 14:29. And be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath, neither give place to the devil. Ephesians 4:26-27. Notice that. Don't give it a place, because what begins as anger can become a dwelling place for deception if you continue feeding it. Sometimes the battle isn't merely between you and another person. The battle is between your anger and your ability to receive truth. So before you cut somebody off, before you retaliate, before you decide they're your enemy, before you reject correction, before you speak words you cannot take back, check the lens you are looking through. Because Dan warned us. Anger blinds, hatred distorts, deceit ensnares, but truth sets the heart straight. Love truth. Choose long suffering. Be slow to anger. And don't allow an emotional moment to make you spiritually blind. Hold on, endure, and never let anger become stronger than your love for truth.